Good morning. Welcome back out to the shop. It's Saturday after Thanksgiving, and it's the first opportunity I've had to come out here, and in true North Carolina fashion, wouldn't you know, we went from summer to winter. I worked Thanksgiving and the day and Friday after Thanksgiving at work. They offered some pretty good incentives, and my wife was out of town on her annual shopping with her sister's trip, so you know, I decided to go ahead and work. I don't know if I've mentioned, I work in the metrology lab. We handle anything to do with vendor related or incoming parts, you know, whether they be problems with it or need to be inspected or anything like that. And we also are charged with keeping track of all the tool calibrations. So a lot of that stuff is fixtured, and it's hard to check it during normal production hours. So you can't, some of those things are multi-spindle stuff, and you can't take them apart to test the tools. So it was a perfect opportunity for me to take all that stuff off, test it, certify it, calibrate it if it needed to be, and put it all back together while nobody was there. So I did that, and it went really, really well. So I did that. I about had the whole plant to myself. If you've ever been in a large manufacturing plant and you don't see another soul, it's an eerie feeling. And we have automatic lights, so you know, if there's nobody in there working, the lights turn off. So you know, as you walk under them, you can see all the lights turn on. But it was kind of weird to, after I got done testing, look up and look a quarter mile down the production line and it's black. It was different. So, but we got everything done that we needed to do. But we're back out here in the shop. I don't think I've been out here since before FabTech. So we're going to do that. And in true North Carolina fashion, we went from summer to winter in like the blink of an eye. So we have a fire in the wood stove going. It's already getting pretty toasty in here. So we're going to do that. Get a fire going, we're going to get on the gearbox. So the gearbox has been sitting there. I don't think I'm going to take much of it apart. I'm going to take the handles off of it and the two couplings for the lead screws and the feed screw. And we're just going to clean it up, paint it up, and polish up what needs to be polished up. I hope those handles are the same handles that go on the gearbox right here. And if they are, then we're probably going to take one of those and mimic it, because I need those drawn and machined out, or we're going to fabricate them somehow. I don't know exactly which way. I kind of like the fabricating look. It'd be kind of cool to have the round and then a nice TIG weld around that stuff. You know, yeah, we might do that. I don't know. We might make one anyway to see what it looks like. But we're going to do that today. So let's see. I think I need to go scrounge some more wood up. That's one good thing, or one bad thing. I noticed that I don't have any wood scrap, so that doesn't mean I wasn't in the wood shop very much last year. Usually I have at least enough wood for at least half the winter time just in the scrap bins. So we're going to end up having to buy some wood this year. So, you know, it is what it is. So let's do that. We're going to reposition the camera, move the gearbox down here, slide this out of the way. I do need to make a gasket for the oil fill over here, or the oil tank, because I noticed it all leaked out. I'm pretty sure it came from that. It didn't have a gasket on it before. And I'm gonna look at it a little closer, make sure I didn't leave a drain out somewhere, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. So let's move the gearbox down here. Let me reposition the camera. We'll be back. All right, so we got our multiple of tools here. I went ahead and took the what was this? The speed lever. No. Yeah, the feed rate lever off of there. It's threaded in, so it just unscrewed. And then I took one handle off already, and I thought I'd go ahead and we'll start taking some more off. So the set screws out of that one. Again, I got my variety of punches and a small hammer. Hopefully, this is all we're going to need. If not, we got the big one on standby. So this one just lets you do a little less leverage, I reckon. So that's got to be the small side. Well, how did they drive it in? Anyway. Okay, that came off pretty easy. Well, that's not going to come off so easy. Oh yeah, it's coming off. So came right off. And what I did, I went ahead and punched it. I don't know if you can see, but I put a punch in different locations. So, you know, when you line up the taper pin, and line up the dot, you have the right one, so you won't accidentally get this one over here, because, you know, they'll fit each other. So unfortunately they won't fit on the gearbox. So, and here's another one. So let's grab our, let me put the taper pin back in the right one. I don't know that it really matters, but you know, if they were ground flush, then I kind of want to leave them that way. So we're going to, when we got our trusted cafeteria tray here. So the next one, they all have a set screw in the back of it. That's not tight. I swear, nothing's been really overly tight on this. So another set screw there. And then, let's see. That looks like the big end, so let's slide it over here. Where's the small hammer? Whoop, and it comes right out. It's amazing. Of course, you know, soaking it in the purple power and all that stuff maybe had an effect on it. I really don't know. But it really is coming apart pretty good. So that came out really good. So put the taper pin back in it. And then we'll look at it some more. Oop, got a tag here that we need to take off. And an oil cup right there. So probably not the right tool for this. Let's see how hard it is to come out. I love these new, everything to me that's a slip plier is a channel lock. So I love these new channel locks. So I have new cups anyway, so I'm pretty sure that's just a press in. Maybe it's a screw in. No, it pressed in. So I have these already. So I have new ones for these. So we'll leave that on the tray anyway. Let's see, that's off, that's off, that's off. Need to take this tag off. So let me get my trusty chisel and my cheap pair of dikes. That's got cutouts in them. That won't cut anything, but they're good at this. So one more time. You get it started underneath the screw, just to lift it up. And then once it's up, you can get right under it and pull it out. It works really, really well. I wouldn't take your best woodworking chisels to this, but you know, for this it works great. I tried lifting one up by the underneath the plate, trying not to mar it, but some of that stuff's pretty thin. This one's going to come though. And my wood stove kicked on. So what does this one say? I didn't even know it was on there till it got out of it. It says, caution, do not reverse speeds, do not reverse lever at speeds higher than 140 RPM. So we'll clean that one up. There's a little bit of rust behind it, but it'll be hopefully if I can get that cleaned up, it'll be a good spot to show where the original paint is, if there's any left on it. So what else? You got these taper pins to take out. All right, so we decided to shift gears a little bit. That little, those shafts were a pain in the butt and didn't want to cooperate, so we soaked them down with PB Blaster. And we're going to try it that way. So what we're going to do now is take these handles apart. Hopefully take these handles apart anyway. So I've got this is my bench block, hunk of 4x6, but you know I'm a woodworker and it works for me. So get our glasses back on. Hopefully this comes apart easy. Hopefully. The main thing is getting something solid under it so you can hit it. All right, big hammer. Switching over. Something with a little more oomph on the back side of it. I always try those little hammers first and then try to get the big hammer, or, you know, wait to get the big hammer, I should say. You know, maybe this will work better. One thing I don't want to do is break anything. Well, let's put the metal block up here. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I don't think it is. Bench block would definitely help. Something with a V in it. Keep that round part from moving around. Of course, I couldn't make one right quick, but we're going to try this. There we go. Once you get it started, I'm going to put everything, each one on its own tray. And it's spring loaded, so now we're going to see how this sucker's made. This is unreal how they did this. Got a bushing in it, spring in it. Surely that's just not one cast piece. I think it is. Daggone. That is unreal how they made those. I could have swore that piece would be a separate piece. But it sure does not look like it. No, that's all one piece. Unreal. Unreal. Got a bronze or a brass bushing pushed into it. This machine pin right here, so unreal. Wrong way, of course. Oh, it's not a, it's a step bushing in there. All right. Unreal. Still cool though. How this thing works. So that's one of them. So like I said, we're going to put one on each tray so we don't mix up parts. I don't know that it would matter, but better safe than sorry. So let's try number 2. Make sure we're on the small end, which it is right there. And I always, like I said, we're going to start out with the smaller hammer and work our way up. Oh, that one come apart pretty good. So, and all I really want to do with this stuff is clean it up really good. So, not as good a shape as the other one was, but, or the springs broke in it. It could be that too. Nope, the spring. There we go. Just dirty. So that's 2. So far, so good. But this gives me an idea of how to make those other ones. So we're good with that. So there's number 2 done. Grab another tray. These are going to look so good cleaned up. And then we're going to do the normal drill. We'll probably sandblast this part, paint it, and then all the other parts will be polished. So, and we'll do that, you know, we'll hit it with the wire wheel, then we'll go to the deburring, the, what do you call that thing? The deburring stone. I can't even remember what you call the thing now. Yeah. There we go. Came apart. Like I said, this lathe's been fairly easy to get apart. So, it's just got gunk and stuff in it, which, you know, 75 years old again. So, looking good. So that's that. And then we got one big one that goes for the feed handle, feed change handle. And then that'll be it. All right. Oh, it came right apart. Or I think it did anyway. Yeah, this one's springing, so. Made the same way though. Unreal. Pretty cool. Got to clean up my pecker marks. So, shouldn't have done the way I did it. I used that slip joint plier and didn't realize it was eating into it like it was. So, that's on me. we'll clean it up. If not, we'll make another one. So, look at the spring. Unreal. Pretty cool the way these things are made. Well, that's it for this. It's ready to get everything cleaned up and everything. And I don't want to bore you with all that. I tell you, let me change positions of the camera and then we'll get back with you. All right, so I think that's as far as we're going to go that we're going to film. The rest of this stuff is, you know, we're going to take stuff to the deburring wheel, clean it all up, wire wheel everything, clean all this up. I'm probably going to sandblast the handle part of it just to get all the mess off of it, and then just clean it up the best we can. I kind of like I said, I kind of like the cast look, so you know, we're just going to clean it up the best we can, and then get it all put back, painted, and put back together. Everything else is the same old, you know. We're going to scrub this sucker down, paint it, get those couplings off, and pretty much get this thing ready to go. Then after this, I think we're ready to start putting it back together. I think. We have a bunch of little pieces, but you know, that'll be the main thing. We got to get the gantry crane built, so that'll probably be the next thing. So we'll get that drawn up. I haven't even drawn it up yet to see how much weight it'll carry. I want to do the same as I did with the jib crane and do the weight studies and all that on it. You know, we want it to be heavy enough that we can lift parts onto the lathe if we need to. So if we have to build 2 gantry cranes, we might do that. I really don't want a heavy beam in here because I only have 8-foot ceilings, and that really, you know, a heavy beam knocks all your ceiling height out. So, you know, the little S7 beam that I have here works perfectly, but it might not be heavy enough to do the weight we need to do. So, unless we come up with an ingenious solution on how to mount it, which, you know, I'll get my brother over here and we'll look at it and talk about it and stuff like that. But for now, we're going to do just a short gantry crane that goes across the short ways of the lathe. As high as it'll go, you know, so it'll clear the lights, and then it'll go across the short way. That way we can roll it back and forth and get all these heavy parts lifted on there so we don't have to heft them up there while we're trying to line everything up. So, let's see. I think that's it. Shorty but a goodie. So anyway, y'all enjoy your weekend, and I reckon we'll see you next time. See ya.